Oh, Syracuse. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We ain't cared about nothing happening in New York since Joe Namath was there. But paved the way for us. Finally, somebody in orange worth cheering for. Ooh, two losses in a row for Giga, man. Maybe they need that 13th man.
All right, what's up, y'all? I'm back with another episode of the Serial Dreamer podcast. As you know, I love to sit down with entrepreneurs, businessmen, and women that have either completed their dream or still chasing their dream, and kind of give advice and give knowledge on what they've done through their journey so that followers can understand what it takes to get to those levels of people that they look up to. And tonight I am honored to be able to sit down with Jermaine Funny Maine Johnson. I have followed him for quite a while. If you know Alabama football, then you know who this man is. He's the one that puts all of our emotions into to voice after the games on Saturdays. So without further ado, man, I definitely first of all thank you for sitting down with me today.
Yeah.
And to start, kind of just start at the beginning. How did you grow up? Where did you grow up? And kind of when did you kind of get that knack for, the limelight?
Well, first I got to explain to your audience now. We are recording this in June in the heat of the South, but that means the AC is on. So I
Yeah.
just grabbed the first hoodie that I saw.
Listen, I
I don't
got
have
I
no
on
hair.
this shirt too.
Yeah, I don't have no hair, so I had to cover the head a little bit so I don't get too cold.
Yeah.
And usually I would be probably rocking some crimson, but yeah, hey, I saw the yellow Wu-Tang hoodie, so
Hey, it's all good.
we yellow tonight, but we comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but grew up in Opelika, Alabama, which right next door to another little college town.
Yeah, that
Well,
little.
that's where I was born at. Grew up in Birmingham, though. I've been in
Oh,
Birmingham since I was like fourth grade, and now here in Memphis working for the school system.
okay. So when did you kind of know that you wanted to kind of get in, not to necessarily like show business, but like when did you know that you were kind of like that person that liked the attention, that didn't mind, doing the funny stuff and being comedic?
I, Believe it or not, man, I hate attention. I really don't. I like making people laugh, so I guess that kind of come with it. I was definitely class clown, always joking, always cracking with my brothers and family members. So no, I be having these ideas. I say them, people laugh,
Yeah,
and it makes me feel,
yeah,
good. So I just kept going with it.
I feel that. So where did you go to college at?
I went to Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Okay, where'd you major in?
Majored in English with a minor in communication. Well, actually, not a minor, it's a double degree. So I did a extra year. I like to call myself an English major, but I'm an English and comms major, double major.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, with going to college, did you do a lot of, I guess like class, not class clown stuff, because you really don't do that in college, but were you kind of getting into stuff on campus where, you were kind of
Yeah.
getting the attention of the campus?
Yeah, nah, I was a college class clown if you
Yeah.
didn't know those exist. So yeah, man, I should have, them first couple years should have been a lot more serious about the work. The GPA reflected that, but I got on track and got a degree.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, then, while in college and then a little bit after, that's why I kind of honed my stage skills outside of growing up in the church.
oh,
Stillman was a place they let me announce for the band, announce basketball games, get up, host programs. So I was like the talker on
yeah,
campus.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you did that all for, did you ever get into any like drama, like theater, anything like that?
Um, Not in school
Okay.
that I can remember, but I acted in a few plays around Tuscaloosa. Yeah, for sure. If you search hard enough, it probably one or two on YouTube. So
Yeah. So when you got through with college, what did you do right when you finished college? What was the next step for you?
I was actually, I told you, man, I was doing so much talking on school. They hired me to talk some more at
Yeah.
Stillman. So for 3 years, I was a college recruiter, and
Okay.
that just involved a lot of talking, just um, talking to parents, talking to students, talking to
Yeah.
crowds as you recruit. So it was just a lot of talking, and I guess I was the only one without stage fright on campus. So
Yeah.
it paid off. I got me my first salary job.
I understand that. So were you always a Bama fan though? Like, did you grow up a Bama fan or?
Always,
Okay.
always. My mom, she's from Tuscaloosa. My
Okay.
dad was a Bama fan, but he wasn't like hardcore. But
Okay.
he definitely rolled with the tide. But my mom, oh, she was all in. She
Yeah.
T-Town, she's Crimson, everything for sure.
So when did you start, like when did you get the idea to do the videos, that you were creating, after, those
Mhm.
Saturday games? Where did you get the idea to do those videos?
It kind of came from not having, and I'll explain. So the video started 2016.
Right.
2014 and 15, I did like a few videos here and there. I
Yeah.
wasn't on the couch. I was just like acting, doing silly stuff about Alabama. And but I had built up a following, like 25,000 people were
Yeah.
just rocking with me.
Yeah.
And when that season started, I was in a hotel in Nashville. I really didn't have nothing but my iPhone. I didn't have like the props and stuff to do, other things.
Yeah.
So that was it. I just made it work, edited, put some scores on it, and the rest is history.
Hey man, it caught fire. Like we
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
we used to run to the computer or run to the phone after those games. Like, man, what is he gonna say?
yeah.
What is he gonna say? So when you saw that it started really catching everybody's attention, like what was
Mhm.
that like? What was that feeling like when you saw that?
It was fun, but it was also surreal. Because I wasn't, doing it for money or anything at first. I didn't even know you could get paid
Yeah,
back then. So I was just doing it and people was rocking with it. They was following. So then I wouldn't say pressure, but I felt like I gotta keep them engaged, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So that's when I wanted to stop doing videos every so often and then just do it every week.
okay. When like, did you ever get any flack from like other teams and things like that when you were posting videos? I know the
Man, I
fans.
get Yeah, I get more flack from Alabama fan base than anybody. Don't ask me why. I just it's a wild fan base, but I embrace
Yeah,
them. They embrace me. It's a hate love thing. But yeah, of course, the other fan base they're way in, especially when I'm picking at them. But also they tune into the videos, man. They want to get their props when their team
yeah,
get a big win. They want to
yeah.
come to the videos, see if they got mentioned. If their team loses pretty bad, then they want to see how hard I'm gonna go on.
Oh yeah. So you were doing the videos. So what was kind of like the career field that you were kind of entering into after you did the 3 years of recruiting with Stillman? What was that next step like for you?
It was comedy. Like I was focused on comedy for a long while.
Okay.
Social media was trying to give y'all a timeline. So I was graduated 2003,
Yeah.
was working as a recruiter 2003 to 2006, and I began comedy right there in 2005. So I had a full-time job. I wasn't all the way in. I would do shows here and there.
Okay.
Then I got fired.
Okay.
So I had to press the gas a little bit more, start getting in more comedy competitions. At that time, Facebook was still for colleges.
Yeah.
MySpace was hot, so I was, that's kind of how I got my name, my stage name from MySpace.
Okay.
But I just said, hey man, I think I could do this, and I, went all the way in.
Yeah. So when did it really become like a reality for you? I know you're funny because you make people laugh.
hmm
Did it
hmm
come a thing where you're like, man, I can actually get on stage in front of anybody, strangers or not, and
Yeah,
actually get them to laugh?
yeah, it was. I would say 2007 at
Oh,
UAB. hosting a Camille Armstrong step show.
Okay.
So I'm hosting this show. It's packed arena, having a good time. I don't even care about the step acts. I'm having fun with the crowd in between. Gave them a little dance to do. It caught on.
Yeah.
Little did I know, the cable company in Birmingham at that time was recording it, and
Okay.
they were looping it like on their station,
Okay.
on one station, like for months. People would hit me on Facebook, like, I see you on TV. And so they kept playing it for like 2, 3 months. So everybody was seeing me. I'm getting all this airtime and just had so much fun. So from that, people started booking me a lot more places.
Okay. So did you actually start like writing out your show? Like you had like an entire show that you wrote out, or did you kind of get up there and kind of freestyle it based on what the crowd was giving you?
It was a little bit of both, mostly writing, but also some freestyling, or as we call in comedy, crowd work.
Crowd work, yeah.
Mhm.
So when you were younger, class clown, did you know then that you wanted to be a comedian, or was there another career goal in mind
Mhm.
when you were younger?
Let me. Uh, I said, hold on. And my wife calling me. She just landed. But did you hear that ringing? Yeah.
I didn't hear.
Oh, okay. Good, good, good. Um, wait, what was the question again? She threw me off, man.
So when you were younger, did you know
Uh,
then that you kind of wanted to go into comedy, or what was the career field that you were kind of
mhm.
leaning towards when you were younger? Like, what did you want to be when you were younger?
Yeah, no, comedy never crossed my mind until I got a little bit older. Probably
Okay.
thought I was gonna be like in TV or radio, which I did end up doing radio for 9 years.
Yeah.
But it was definitely gonna be something in communication and creativity.
Okay. And you did radio in Birmingham, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. 95.7 jams
Yeah.
from 2012 to 2019. I had a brief stint in 2007 that everybody forgot about, thank God, because I was probably awful,
Yeah.
didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, when I came back that second time, I was ready then. I had my confidence. I had been on stage a little bit more. I
Yeah.
understood the timing of radio jokes versus stage jokes.
Right.
And man, we gave it to them, bro.
So what? How did you land that second time around? Like, how did that come back around to you?
First time, like I told you, from hosting the UAB show,
Yeah.
the program director, Mary Kay of Jams, God, I love her to this day. I tell her all the time she gave my first shot. She saw me at the show and asked if I wanted to be on the morning show as the comedian. I said, yeah, I did it for 1 or 2 months. Wasn't ready. I kind of dipped so nobody would even remember. And then that second time, my man Roy Wood Jr. was transitioning out from Birmingham. I think he was headed to LA like 2012, or
Okay.
he's already there and just moving back and forth. But it was time to let it go, and they
Yeah.
were looking for a comedian for the morning show, and they were trying out all these people. And I came in, like I said, I had more confidence this time. I knew the city well, got that thing, and the rest was history.
Yeah. So during that stint is when you started doing. When did run the ball become a thing? Because I know that blew up like crazy. Like I remember
Yeah,
you had
yeah, yeah.
like inhibit sports and everything.
Oh yeah, we still got them.
Yeah.
Runtheball.com. You can go
Yeah.
get you one. But nah man, that was 2016. I was just looking for something that could connect with the audience, the Bama and the football audience, like something that people, say all the time and all the you can't use Roll Tide, you can't use anything that they got trademarked.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ran a few ideas by my partners, and they was like, "I like that one. That run the ball." My group chat signed off on it, and they don't like nothing. So I knew when they liked it, it was a hit.
That call, because this every
Yeah,
Saturday, that's all you hear Bama fans say. If we don't run the
run the
ball,
ball.
you know what I'm saying? It's run the ball.
Yeah, dude. I'll be walking through Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi. People see me run the ball
Yeah.
or holler out something from the videos. I love it, man. It's all love. It's
Oh
all
yeah.
love.
Yeah, my mom, the day those shirts came to Hibbett's, she was at Hibbett's
Hmm.
shirts. Like
That's
she
love. That's love.
I remember. I think that's I had posted it on Instagram at that time or Facebook, one of them, and showed it to you because she was holding it up.
Hmm.
We had got it.
You did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she really, really,
Hmm.
really, really
Yeah.
loved those
I
shirts.
still got that picture somewhere, and I know it's on my page
Yeah.
somewhere. Yeah.
So we so you get through with radio,
Uh-huh.
2019. What's the next step? That's right around when COVID's getting ready to hit in 2020. So what were you
Mm.
doing around that time?
Man, things took a turn for everybody, but definitely took a turn for me.
Yeah.
I purchased a home in Birmingham
Okay.
um, with the thought that okay, I'm gonna put my furniture and stuff in here, put all my belongings in this house, and
Yeah.
I had actually got accepted to film school in
Okay.
LA. So it was like a 18-month program. So I was just gonna go out there for 18 months, make sure the bills and stuff was straight at the house, get my brother to watch it. And I was supposed to leave in spring of 2020, and we all know how that went.
Yeah.
So who knows, man? Maybe I would have been Ryan Coogler, but it got shut down. God had other plans, man. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So do you think that would be something that may circle back around? Would you be open to that possibility?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I still got a few scripts that I've written on the hard drive for sure.
You ever thought about just putting a production together yourself? You know,
Man, when I think about the time and money,
yeah,
uh, I don't mind the independent route,
yeah,
but I need a little help, bro.
yeah.
So,
I think you definitely have the name, but of course, the
hmm
time, the money, and the production,
hmm
all is what it really boils down to.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what made you make the decision to kind of transition completely, um, to go to Memphis, and you took a
Yeah,
job in the school system, right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
What
I
position did
mean,
you get there?
so my official title is Strategic Communications Officer of
Oh,
Memphis Shelby County Schools. That
okay,
basically means I'm the head of the communication department. Like
okay,
everything falls under me. I got like 40 employees that report to me. It's managers, very creative team. I like to say I got the best team in the district. No
yeah,
shade to nobody. I just love my team. They get it done, man. So creative, so fun to be around. I just really appreciate them. And I didn't know this job existed uh, this time last year.
yeah,
I had someone that I knew that got the job as superintendent, and I just wanted to make sure they were comfortable, getting into the role.
yeah,
Um, but and they asked me to help recruit somebody for this position, and I looked at the description. I read it like 4 times. I told my wife, I said, "Hey, this is what I do."
yeah.
And then me and my wife were like, "You think they want you to apply?" I was like, "I don't know. But I wasn't thinking about moving to Memphis, but hey, let's
That's right.
put a plan together and put in the application and see what happens."
Yeah,
Interviewed. They told me it was quite a few candidates, and got the job, man. And just been always love the city of Memphis.
yeah.
I've been brought here. I first was brought here while recruiting, so I
Okay,
recruited all the high schools here in Memphis for
okay,
Stillman, and then I came back to do some charity work for Le Bonheur Hospital. We've been doing that show since 2012. So when
okay.
I came back for the job, I was like, I knew all the high schools,
Yeah.
by name, knew a lot of the business community from things, and I'm a Grizz fan, so why not? Let's roll.
So has it been uh how well I'll say this, like how has that journey been this over this past year of being in that
Uh,
role? Because that's one of the biggest school districts in the state, or the biggest probably, I
the
think.
biggest in the state,
Yeah,
23rd in the nation.
yeah,
It's had its challenges for sure. The first semester, it was just a lot going on. Quick Google search
yeah,
of Memphis Shelby County Schools show you that. But I think this second semester, starting in January, we just really started getting into stride.
okay,
The teachers, the principals. the new superintendent, who I love working for. Everything just kind of hit, man, and we rocking and rolling.
Yeah. So do you see this being a long term thing? Like, you feel like you're planted, in Memphis, or
Mm.
is this kind of a stop on the journey?
Brother, are you even listening to my answer? Listen, I can plan whatever. I was planning to go to film school. That didn't happen. I was planning to, you know, I wasn't planning to be a comedian. That happened. I wasn't planning to come to Memphis. That happened. So,
I mean, but
I said,
when you get in a position, you might be there.
yeah,
Sometimes you
I will
get.
say this, man. I will be here as long as they will have me, man.
Right.
I've been trying to avoid saying name, but Dr. Roger Richmond. Man, it is a pleasure working for this guy
Yeah,
every single day. He's just thorough. He's firm, but he's fair.
yeah,
He's funny.
uh,
He's hilarious, actually, and he just knows his stuff, man. He's got a memory and a brain,
yeah,
like nobody I've ever been around. He got a great supporting cast of senior leaders and network leaders.
okay,
So he makes me, want to come to work every day, do the work. Him, my great staff and communications, the senior leaders that I'm surrounded by. It's a great situation.
nice. So do you see yourself, like, what do you see your, like, the content, as far as
Hmm.
the next season going? You're in the middle of Tennessee.
Yeah.
What do you see, your content going for next football? We need you next year, man. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it ain't nothing changed, man. The
Yeah.
people, first of all, in Tennessee, there's a whole bunch of Bama fans from
Okay.
Memphis to Nashville over to Chattanooga. There's a ton of Bama fans. Of
Yeah.
course, there's a lot of Vols fans, but dude, every time I have a show in any city in Tennessee, it's always a big crowd,
Yeah.
always a lot of love, a lot of laughs. So I think the state of Tennessee, man, the people here, just like folks in Alabama,
Yeah.
just show a lot of love. They love their teams, they love a good time, and they love family, man. So
Yeah.
they know what time it is, though. They know what time it is. And then I think they beating us two out of the last three, so we ain't,
Yeah.
it ain't too much hate right now.
Yeah. We're gonna change that. We're gonna change it. So, what would you say to? 'Cause I know you've been told no.
Hmm.
Your career, different careers. You've been told no, obviously. What would you say
Hmm.
to the young man that's getting ready to go to college?
Hmm.
That's kind of wanting to get, content creation right now is popular. You know,
Right, 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 right.
what would you say to that guy that does have that dream of going into content creation, of going into maybe theater,
Hmm.
going into film school or something like that,
Hmm.
and getting a
Hmm.
lot of no's? What would you say
Yeah.
to that person?
Push through and believe in yourself. Let's say
Yeah,
it again. Push through and believe in yourself. And what you got to push through is people uh, doubting your vision.
yeah,
Here's the deal. God gave you your vision. So you see it a certain way. And
yeah,
then sometimes we open our mouths and we looking for validation from people who don't have the same vision we do.
right,
Just do it. So, you know what I'm saying? Because that a lot of times that'll kill your energy,
yeah,
leaning on people's validation. You might have some people that want to see you do well, but they don't want to see you do really well. So I
yeah,
just say, just do you, man. There's an audience outside of your family, outside of your city, your
yeah,
state, the whole world, because of the internet is open. And if the whole world chooses you, man, just, keep going. But they
yeah,
can't choose you if you don't put the content out.
absolutely. So, would you say that to your 14-year-old self? Like, you at 14 years old, do you think you needed to hear that, or do you think you were already kind of in that mindset of, I'm going to do what I want to do regardless, or would you think you need
Yeah.
to hear it too?
My 14-year-old said I was ambitious, but I wasn't focused. Like
Okay.
I knew I was gonna do something great. I even got a quote in my senior yearbook. It said, "I'm gonna show the world." It literally said, "I'm gonna show the world my gifts and talents."
Yeah.
So the confidence was there. I just didn't know what I was gonna show the world, but I knew, I was gonna be on a pretty large platform. So My 14-year-old self, he good. I've just stopped saying I'm being so damn scary all the time. Just,
Yeah,
when especially when you're speaking to girls, when you're just handling your business, you know,
I
toughen
think.
up, fella.
I mean, I think most guys that are kind of scary or shy growing up become communication
Yeah.
teachers. You know,
Yeah, because once you crack the code, it's like,
yeah,
oh, okay. I can't believe I was holding out,
yeah.
for this long or whatever. So yeah.
Mm. But clearly, communication is your calling. And I
Right.
think that
Right.
God is using that calling to touch a lot of people. Through
Hmm.
what you
Hmm.
do with content and now what you're doing with the school system. And
Right.
I for sure know for a fact that what you're doing there is very important because it's a lot of young boys that are looking to you for
Mhm.
that avenue to say, like, I can do that. That's an avenue that I can
Right.
take because in communities like that, and down I grew up in close to Opelika, so in communities that don't
Hmm.
have a lot of people that do what you do, and you have that idea to do it, who do you go to? Like, where do you learn that
Right.
from? So what you're
Mhm.
doing, is huge, and I
Yeah.
commend you for what you do. Like I said, I've watched you for,
Thank you, bro.
a long time, and
And you said you grew up close to Opelika.
not at all. I grew up in Smith Station, Phoenix City.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Not in not,
Familiar.
not in that city.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we go up there sometimes, but yeah, I don't
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that other city. But no, I really do. I thank you for what you do. And I
Yeah, man. Yeah.
and also thank you for always being, very willing to share your gift. Share your
Yeah,
knowledge.
man.
I
Yeah.
started a magazine. If you remember, what
I
6 years?
remember.
Uh,
Yeah, I had to send you a whole list of
yeah,
questions, I remember. Did
and
you even print my questions?
I did. I did. It online and everything, man. And that
What
was
was that like? That was pre-Penny. That was a
that's
while.
where it happened. Yeah. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember.
And that was an
Hmm.
idea I had. And, you were the first person that had a platform that was like, yeah,
Hmm.
just shoot me the questions. I'll get them back to you.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
gave me the confidence to say, what, I can talk to other people. I can walk in
Hmm.
rooms with people who have names and hold my own, you know.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the thing, man. I'm glad you brought that up because I think about my own journey every day. To me, my journey is still just starting in a lot of ways. I wouldn't dare, try to knock somebody with a dream that reaches out to me,
yeah,
and say no to them. It's just not in me, man. I wanna share this as much as I can, share the spotlight, and just, see other people shine.
absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate that. That's going to help.
Hmm.
And I give that back the same way, and that inspires me. I got to keep,
Yeah.
I don't have near the platform that you have, but, I do a lot of recruiting, for athletes and stuff. Every kid
Hmm.
that reaches out to
Hmm.
me, I make sure I find some way to make contact. Even if I can't get them to college, I do what I can to at least know that I tried. They know that I'm supporting
Right.
them, and men like you, is where I get that from. And so I appreciate
Oh
you
man, appreciate that, bro.
doing that.
Yeah, means a lot.
Yeah. But anything you want to say to your community, either up there in Shelby County or us Bama fans that are waiting for this season?
To Bama Nation, man. You know, there's a lot going on in the world right now. It lot going on within the fan base with changes, a new person coming in. But I think there was a lot of life lessons by the former coach,
Yeah,
Saban, that left. And if anything, I think he's embedded that in us. So let's not just apply the life lesson that he gave us to football,
right,
but also to our everyday lives, like the process,
right,
thinking and moving like a champion, being prepared, and you notice he always preached team too. It
right.
was never about, the individual awards. It was just about being tough. But at the end of the day, you see a lot of the players, they still talk and communicate with each other. And I think that's what's holding us back as a state sometimes is
Yeah,
we don't communicate with each other. We have the one, two little differences,
yeah,
and then we just stop talking. But we all gotta share this house, man. So
yeah,
communicate with each other, love on each other when you can, and agree to disagree sometimes.
yeah. Absolutely. I love that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That,
Hmm.
Saban did teach a lot, and I think the
Yeah.
NILs eventually kind of pushed him on out because, he's losing, losing control of that ability to
Well,
teach.
well,
Yeah.
we finna talk football now because
We
I
can.
don't really think it was that. This is why I think Nick Saban left. I'm basing it off his last couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't think Saban could recruit anymore, and I
Yeah.
don't think it had anything to do with NIL. He couldn't recruit top assistant coaches anymore. When you
Yeah.
think about the Kirby Smarts and the Dan Lannings and all these guys that have gone on to become head coaches,
Yeah.
those last couple of years, man, he was limping to the bone with
Yeah.
whoever he could find. Those were not elite offense coordinators and defense coordinators. So I think if anything, I think that the NIL affected the assistants
Yeah.
because to me, a lot of them were just chasing the bag and not chasing the process.
Yeah.
They was like, all right, I'm gonna go be with Nick for 2 years, and that should automatically get me a head coaching job somewhere. And they wasn't wrong, but they wasn't putting out a great product, so a lot of those opportunities they didn't get.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Hmm.
But I mean, that's what he became known for. You bring in an assistant coach and plant him
Yeah,
somewhere. So his
yeah.
legacy is at Georgia. His legacy is at Texas. His legacy's everywhere. So, I mean,
Ole Miss.
yeah,
It's
I
all over.
wish,
It's at Oregon.
yeah,
It's at the University of Miami.
it's
It's
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just wish we could have went out, on top. I hate that for a guy that has done so much for the not just University of Alabama, but for the nation of
Yeah.
colleges. You know what I'm saying? Wish he would have went
It-
out.
I think if he was on top, he wouldn't have went out. So I think
Yeah,
his last game being in the Rose Bowl.
yeah,
Um, he was never an emotional type of guy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't gonna do it for the this got meaning or that got meaning. He was like, nah, it was
yeah,
time to go. I stepped away, man. I'm selling Mercedes now.
yeah. Yeah, he gonna always be good. But I like what
Yeah,
he's doing now. I like him up there, as an analyst. He got some little funny moments.
yeah,
He
yeah.
doing his thing up
I
there.
mean, it's amazing, man. I feel like this season, Corso last show is going my birthday twin, Lee Corso,
Yeah,
is gonna be the first game. And I feel like they should pass the torch on to Nick,
yeah,
who's also a seasoned coach, well known, well liked. And we see now he's actually funny.
yeah, yeah.
He's funny and knowledgeable. So I mean, how's it look if he starts wearing the mascot head at the
That'd be
end?
cool.
And Lee kind of passed the torch to him.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He better not ever put on no rival helmets. I tell you that much. Don't
He
do
gonna
it,
have
Nick.
to.
Don't you do
He
it.
gonna have to. That's
No,
what
he don't. He don't have to. He don't have to do nothing.
you see. I mean, I don't know. I can see Nick putting on. I can see. Yeah, I can see him.
Nah, I mean, bro, LSU playing Georgia, you don't get to pick, Nick. You sick that day. You off
So why would he be the one to put on the when if he can't
for
do
all the other games.
it?
No, none of the rivals. Yeah,
Man, but no, man, I appreciate you, man. Like,
yeah,
this
bro. Likewise.
is a true um, honor for me. You know what I'm saying? Like to pick,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
like, so I definitely appreciate it. Um,
Hmm.
and like I said, I'll continue passing it along, but I definitely appreciate everything that you do, and I hope
Hmm.
you know how many lives that you touch. Because I know
Hey,
how
man.
many people got that. That was honestly the only
Hmm.
magazine that did anything online was the one
Wait a minute.
that you
Hey,
on.
there's room for you, brother. You started too high, Fergie.
But I appreciate you, and and
Yeah.
that's something I had to learn too. From that dip.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, he was on this one, so everybody went out there and
Hmm.
looked at it. And then I had some person that nobody knows on this one, so nobody went out there and
Yeah.
looked at it besides the person's mama. So it's like that destroyed my confidence a little bit. So like, dang, what am I doing wrong? But you, you said I started up here.
Yeah.
You know,
Man,
I couldn't top that. So, but no, I appreciate you, man.
likewise, brother.
I'll be, watching, be waiting on the videos to pop up, you know. But I appreciate you. Thank
Yeah,
you for being on with me tonight.
hey, keep pushing, man. Keep doing great things, man. Sky's the limit, bro. Keep pushing there.
Appreciate you.